For quite a while I've wanted to find the 1960s drone wreckage on the west side of the Huachucas that's described in the Trails of the Huachucas Trail Guide. But my search didn't go as smoothly as I expected. First I headed over to the end of Brushy Canyon Road with Deb to check out one route from the west side. But based on the condition of the road, I decided I didn't want to come back in my car. I figured a better bet was to hike from Huachuca Canyon to the wreckage. Hi, I'm Karen, and Joe and I today are in Huachuca Canyon, and he's helping me with a mission to find the lost drone from the late 1960s that's down about a half mile off the Crest Trail. Right in the middle of Huachuca Canyon on the Crest Trail, which was rocky and crummy and narrow for a while. Well, we didn't find the drone. We found a crappy trail though.
Beyond crappy.
Should we name that Joe's least favorite trail?
Yes.
Okay. I'll have to bleep that out.
Oh, is this recording?
Yes, it's recording. Hi, I'm Karen, and Joe and I are on our way to try and locate the site of a drone crash from the late 1960s in the Huachuca Mountains. We drove up Huachuca Canyon Road as far as we could and are hiking the upper Huachuca Canyon Trail, which I have to say is another one of the trails on Fort Huachuca that has a sign that's very easy to miss. In fact, the first couple of times I tried to make it to Huachuca Peak, I missed this trail sign. So it's the sign that's crooked, not me. Not far after this sign, we missed the unmarked gate that we needed to pass through and ended up in Pine Park. Once we realized it, we backtracked to where we needed to be. We stopped for lunch along the trail, and after lunch we promptly lost the trail, bushwhacked back up the canyon, and headed home without finding the wreckage. Hi, I'm Karen, and this is the third time I've headed up Huachuca Canyon recently to try to find the remains of an old drone crash from the 1960s. The first two times Joe came with me. This time he's like, nah, he's over trying to find this drone crash. But I think I'm going to make it this time. So let's see. We'll hope for the best. I know I have to go down a pretty steep hill, and I don't see much of a trail, so I'm gonna just do what I can. the trails of the Huachucas. This is a Ryan 147NC Firebee, RPV, a remotely piloted vehicle, which is what they called them before whatever the correct terminology is today. And it had an engine, a jet-propelled engine that could go 600 miles an hour. And there's some more wreckage over there. And then as you go around the corner, there's also a little bit more to the left there. Well, it's easier to find the trail going uphill than it is going down. So I'm finding a pretty nice trail here. I've been picking up some trash as I've come up the trail, but some of this is too big for me to pick up. But there have definitely been folks traveling through here, although nothing seems really all that new. It seems like some very old trash here. So today's hike was about 6 miles, just a little bit over. That includes the distance from where I parked here and then walked almost a mile up to where Huachuca Canyon Trail starts. And then of course you have to go through the fence, and I just bushwhacked down to the drone site from the fence. On the way back, I found, of course, a trail. They're easy to see somehow when you're heading uphill. And went on the trail part of the way and then lost the trail and found the trail and lost the trail, and then just followed my old tracks on a Garmin and got back to the trail that way. So it's definitely an interesting sight to see. And if you ever have a chance to do the hike, definitely take along a paper map along with your Garmin or some app that you have to route you there. And hopefully you'll have a good friend like Deb who will look up the Latin long for you, and that made it a lot easier for me, at least to know that I was eventually going to get there, even though I was not on a trail and kind of heading steep downhill, and I had forgotten my poles. So remember everything that you need to take, and if you liked this hike, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next hike.
Never give up, never surrender.